Are you the type of person who's motivated by fear? I am. Storytime. Risk aversion and loss aversion are two behavioral human traits observed across the human race. So let your guard down, hear my story. Don't worry about being perceived as weak. Don't worry about being perceived as abnormal. This message isn't for everybody, but it's a very common personality type, and myself included. So I just got done with a fight camp and I was trying to take it easy, and the coach there, Coach Tommy Duquette, basically motivated me against my will because he pushed one of my buttons. And it reminded me of when I played high school varsity football. It reminded me of something a coach of mine did one time. So I was a second stringer. There was more people behind me, but I wasn't an all-star. I was basically an average player as far as our varsity team went. Like anyone, I would suffer from performance when I got tired, but I think it hit me kind of more than most. And my coaches would really struggle to keep me motivated towards the end of a practice. One day my coach just got frustrated and just lit into me and was surprised to see my performance ticked up quite a bit. He goes, "Oh, you're one of those people." What we eventually discussed later is that he found out that I'm the type of person that's motivated by fear. And so other people on the team were motivated by other things like, hey, let's win the championship. You're going to look so cool. And I was motivated by, if you don't do this right, you're off the team. So years later, I study economics, and this is where it relates to you and I today. Okay, so economics has something called opportunity cost. So if you're struggling with learning to code and if you're intimidated, you think, man, I can't do this, you're afraid. Consider that the opportunity cost is the real thing you should be afraid of. What happens if you don't get the job? What happens if you don't get this money? I'm not talking about your personal quality of life. I'm talking about who are you hurting? So frame the problem this way, and it's not quite accurate, but that's not the point. The point is to push your buttons for motivation. If you don't get this money, you can't give to that charity. If you don't get this money, how are you going to take care of your family? How are you going to take care of your old parents? What if you get sick? What are you going to be able to do? You're going to be helpless. And on the flip side of that, let me reassure you, it is possible, realistic, easier than you think to learn to code. I think a lot of us who have this sort of anxiety and fear, it comes with pessimism. And some of that pessimism becomes unrealistic pessimism. And let me just reassure you that pessimism is unfounded if you're questioning if you can learn to code. The truth is, most people who think they can't actually can. So we need to correct that information in the American culture that it's actually easier to code than we think it is. So reframe the situation that way and see if it motivates you. It's motivating for me. So previously you're thinking, hey, I could go the extra mile, but it's a lot of work. Is it really worth it? I don't know. But now with the noon mindset, you're saying the opportunity cost here, if I don't do this, I'm hurting people. And if I do this, I'm doing the right thing and I'm helping people. Like I said, again, this is not quite accurate and this is not meant to demonize people who don't want to code. What I want you to do is adopt a mindset that can help you push through if it's something you want to do. Thanks for listening. Hope you took something away from a personal story of mine.